Okay, this blush. My face is looking just a bit greasy. Hold on. Okay. I have nothing on my lips. I don't really want anything on my lips. Lips. Oof, good God. Damn it. Hey y'all, how you doing? It's been a minute, hasn't it? It feels so weird to look this way because I cannot see myself, but we're gonna try it. Okay. We're trying something different. Hear ye. I do have my cup of coffee right here. How y'all doing? I've been busy. So I looked at my calendar for the month of January. That is still this month until tomorrow, day after. I looked at my month of January and I was fucking busy. I was just busy. That between the waltz really ramping up with pre-production meetings and my executive producer feeling confident that we are somehow gonna get the money in time, I told a friend, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be like the Missouri State, show me. I'm going to be doubting Thomas because it's hard for me to put myself there emotionally, and I am making plans like it's going to happen, but I am also terrified of what if it doesn't. I would really like to get the waltz made this year. And so I can't even tell you what we're up to really, except we are in development. We are getting a team together. I am meeting with a potential choreographer, and we shall say more if that something comes from that. But all that to say, January has been busy. Also, I joined the Out on Film board. That is absolutely crazy. But as I said in the video previously, like, our missions just align. They align so beautifully. It makes me cry of hopefully what we all can do over the next 2 to 3 years of really supporting queer filmmakers here in the Southeast and really expanding what is offered. So I'm so excited to be a part of that and to share that with y'all when the time is right. So number one, if you're not following Out on Film, then go follow them. And number two, if you're anywhere in the Southeast, then hopefully you come to the festival in September, right before Pride. In the weeks preceding Pride, yes. But all of that aside, I had a very interesting... That's a microphone. I was like, what's in my tits? It's a microphone. No, I did have a weekend, as we all did, but I had a weekend that was interesting, and I thought that I was going to clean today as I'm looking around this room, and I went out to my office studio. I call my whatever. I went out to my studio, and I was like, oh, I am just going to disassociate out here, so let me come in and try and clean, like, be productive. Then I started cleaning, and then I was like, let me make a TikTok video. But I can never just make a TikTok video. It has to be production. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to do Celine Dion's I'm Alive or Miley Cyrus's Flowers or... I can love me better than you can. Or Nina Simone's Rich Girl. So I didn't do I'm Alive, but I did do Cyrus and Simone. And then I was like, let me record an episode. Anything to keep from cleaning and working, because clearly I need a rest. This weekend was interesting, though. This is an actual trans story, whatever. So, you know, if you're just here for hits and giggles, then yay. So I've been on this journey of transitioning for since the end of 2019, medically. I started socially transitioning in 2017, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure y'all all know that story. I said it so many times, I should probably just put it in one video, whatever. And there was never any grand coming out moment. It was just like, name change, Facebook change, picture change for my agencies and all that. And it was really motivated by like, let's be consistent so my agencies can know how to submit me. And this is all part of branding. Yay. There are aspects of it that I do enjoy, but it does relate to what I'm talking about. So this weekend, a friend from high school, one of my oldest friends. We have the longest relationship, and I absolutely adore her. We grew up next to each other, and we went to college together, and we stayed in touch all these years. It's a really special relationship to me, like a friendship, because it's been through so much. And not only that, but this person knows me. Like, so anyways, she invited me to a mutual friend of ours. We all went to church together, and we are all ex-members, attendants, not even members. We were teenagers at the time. But anyways, we all went to this mega church in the suburbs of Atlanta, and then we were all like, we noped the fuck out of that whole system. We're like, thanks, but no thanks. We'd rather not anymore. I have not seen this friend since we all met up. I want to say it was 2011, where we all went for sushi, like a big group of us, the group that used to hang out. And so I have not realized how much I've changed until, I hadn't seen this friend for a minute. And he also hung out with Laura and I regularly. And his wife, we all went to the mega church together. And so, like, I go in the house, and it's like this crafting events, Galentine's type event, which, again, going into gendered spaces now, it's different being trans. But anyways, I was invited to this Galentine's, and of course I had 7 panic attacks going in because social anxiety. So I decided to take the longest way there possible to think that I could drive out my anxiety. And then finally I was like, this is ridiculous. So then I parked, and then I walked up to the front door, and I was like, I'm doing this. Like, again, that's part of pushing through anxiety, is like, all right, what's the worst that could happen? I've been assured that this is a safe space. Why? Still, all of the anxiety, fun part of being trans, and fun part of social anxiety, fun part of generalized anxiety. Anyways, pushing yourself to do things that won't kill you, but your body is like, girl, you in danger. So yeah, I rang on the doorbell, and my friend was there, and then our friend from the youth group, and we all went to college together. And I had not seen this person in a long time. I was like, oh my goodness, wow. And she ushered me in, introduced me to everybody. And then my long-term friend, where we grew up together, like, we sat and chatted. And then we'll call this friend 2 and her husband. She sent her husband out of the house. And I was like, this is a girls only event. He's out of the house. But since you have to leave, do you want me to call him in early? And we were like, yeah. And so then old homeboy came in, and it was like, hello, I'm so-and-so, and you must be. And it's so weird how when you're sitting amongst friends, and after a couple of minutes, you just completely forget everything. You're just in the now. And so, with the 2 girls I knew from growing up, it was just like, we're chitting and chatting, and then we were totally in the moment, in the now. And then this the male friend comes in, and the husband, and it's just like, I'm so-and-so, you must be. Like, I mean, it was humor. It was wonderful humor. It was humor to put me at ease. But it also made me realize, like, wow, I changed a fucking lot. And I know I talked about this recently, but it's just like, in that moment, like, I got really dizzy because, again, anxiety went really high, and not because of what he was doing, but just like, oh, that's right. I had this new outer shell that people see that I had kept hidden for so long. And here's the weird thing of transitioning, is that, like, this change is going externally, but you don't ever feel it internally. You're just like, oh, okay, I'm showing more of myself. I'm hiding less of myself. I'm being more authentic, and that feels really good. And then it's just like, you realize you come across people in the past where you're like, oh, wow, I was not authentic. Like, I was trying to be, but I didn't know how to be. And all of this is making me really emotional now, because it's just like, there's a special form of grief that I remember working through in therapy of mourning not being authentic all those years, and how much deeper those relationships could have been, And so all of that flashes through your mind as you're meeting people from your past, and people who turn out to be accepting and genuine. And it's like, I could have maybe been me all along. You just don't know. And everything happens when it's supposed to happen. But that is just, we all go through that. I remember talking about it with my friend Ngazi, who's been on the show before, of you know, when you undergo a big change, a big physical change, it's easy to undergo, like, you know, you're changing your beliefs and all that. But when you're going to go a big physical change, then you go meet people from your past, it's like, oh, wow. And then on top of that, as we're growing older, maturing, like, we're just like, you know, we've got zero fucks left to give. It's like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. So I don't even know if any of that made sense. I think often about, because I really value the relationships and friendships that I do have. And I think often about, there's just regret, you know, of not showing up authentically. But I think it's a special regret and grief that queer people go through, because your first drive is safety and self-protection. And when you're younger, you don't know if you're going to be safe exposing yourself like that. And so it takes getting to a place of stability for anyone really, but especially for queer people. But even if you're cis and straight and you've been through trauma in your past, it takes getting to a place to where you feel safe before you can be authentically you. So I I think I needed to get that out. I really needed to get that cry out, because there's a lot of relationships. There's another relationship I remember from college where it's just like, I really miss this person, just as a friend, as a confidant, as someone who gave me wonderful advice. And so today is the end of January. I am going to pretend that I'm going to clean up the rest of my room, but I know that emotionally I'm going to need to take a minute. And I'm going to get ready for 2 meetings today. One is the Sundance. Oh, wow. Okay, let me back up a little bit. The first meeting is with the waltz choreographer to see, like, is this a good fit? I am really excited about meeting this person. I'm also really nervous, as with everyone, dealing with the waltz, because I feel like so many people know so more than I do, and I don't know what I'm doing. That's another thing that's going to make me cry in a second. But also, my friend Courtney and I, we become producing partners, and we are talking and meeting today about the project that we want to submit, because the application is due in 13 days for the Sundance program. And I think we've settled on a script that we want to co-produce. So today is it's going to be a busy day. And then Eddie and I get in our walk, and all that to say is, this is morning coffee, but I can't wait till what Eddie and I call afternoon coffee. Don't mind if I do. There's a TV right there I can look at. So I'm just saying, y'all know where you stand. If you want to throw the Ava Davis Show just a little bit of money, I'm just saying, morning coffee, afternoon coffee. I guess we call that happy hour. I don't know. All right. I'm Ava Davis. I'm being beautiful. Oh, also, before I forget, so This Way Out is it's not a new podcast. It's a podcast that they auditioned before to be on to read the news once a month as a volunteer. And so This Way Out, it's a way that I can continue to give back, because we'll get into it at another point of what's going on in the world. Oh my God. But This Way Out is a way that I feel like I can give back, keep myself updated on the news that is out there. And it is news that is curated and edited and produced by queer people, for queer people. And it is broadcast at over 200 stations around the world. And I am so grateful to also be an anchor. So like I said, this is a busy year. The Waltz, out on film, This Way Out, queer things, queer all year is a theme that I think we're going to go with out on film. But, you know, those of us who are queer, we are queer all year. So let's find ways to make sure that businesses understand that. We are just queer all year. Let me stop using that, because that's for a specific company. But I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So again, you have your morning coffee, and then you have your afternoon coffee. Okay, let me go. All right, I love y'all.